Hey guys, it's me, Dr. Love, here to tell you how to pick up the ladies. Just kidding, this is an Obi Wan video. This maybe will help you with that as well. We'll find out. Hey, it's Geek Variants, it's Brent, your Master Jedi for today to tell you about the main character for Obi Wan. Obi Wan. Pretty self explanatory there. Be sure to hit that little beautiful watermark in the corner. It helps you subscribe to the channel. Be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate anything you guys can do to help us bump up in the queue. But without further ado, straight to the content. You came to see Obi Wan. You don't care about me. I understand. Dr. Love feels no pain. But our main character, Obi-Wan, was born on the planet Stujon, 57 BBY. He was found Force sensitive and therefore brought to the Jedi Temple for raising, where he was found to be exceptionally rebellious during his younger years, and slowly, over time, kind of got won over by the order and how everything is maintained. He fell in love with maintaining democracy, which we all know the meme lives on forever. Revenge of the Sith for democracy. But by 32 BBY, 25 years later, he attained the rank of Jedi Knight by cutting the Sith Lord Darth Maul in half on the planet of Naboo after his master, Qui-Gon Jinn, was killed by this same Zabrak Darth Maul. And with his dying words, he promised to raise Anakin, and well, we know how that went. That was some of the greatest parenting I've ever seen. But he promised to train Anakin, so that part is history. The Master of Sorisu, there's nothing else we need to know pertaining to his early years. This series, Obi-Wan focuses between 10 and 0 BBY before the Battle of Yavin, for those that don't know. So that is where we're going to primarily focus. And we're going to cover a lot of Obi-Wan's early exile. So you kind of know where things were in the comics. And then we'll see what they do when they drop the series on May 27th. A two-parter, just so you guys know, two-parter on that Friday, which we will be covering here at Geek Variants. So be sure to check that out. As things progress, in Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan delivers Luke to the Lars homestead. As he delivers Luke to Lars homestead, he says nothing of Anakin's demise and fall to the dark side. So Uncle Owen believes that Anakin is dead. Like, not even a slight possibility he's Darth Vader, just dead. So, because the Jedi Order killed his brother-in-law, quote unquote, he believes, yep, Luke should have nothing to do with being a Jedi ever. And he's like, I'll raise Luke, but you got to promise me you're not going to be involved in the upbringing of Luke at all. Obi-Wan agrees to this reluctantly, but, then adopts the turtle hermit lifestyle up on top of a cliff, high ground, and is covered with sand around his house. If that's not a middle finger to Anakin, I don't know what is. After a long and reluctant retirement, Obi-Wan, living on the western portion of the Dune Sea, slowly and but surely starts creeping out of hermit lifestyle, and he goes and visits Shmi Skywalker's grave. Shmi is Anakin's mother, who we all know with the magical birth. He goes to the grave and apologizes and weeps for her son, and apologizing to her for the hope and potential that her son had, and that is depressing as hell. That is enough to make a grown man cry, to know that Obi-Wan is just here weeping for his now fallen friend at the grave of his fallen mother that he himself could not save. While this is transpiring, Qui-Gon appears in a Force vision and tells Obi-Wan he needs to let go. He needs to stop holding on to all of these attachments, and he needs to focus on letting go so he can better himself for the future. Obi-Wan eventually forfeits his lightsaber for a few years, but his sense of duty, honor, and justice that he had when he was a Jedi Knight and Jedi Master never ceases. The man is all about justice in a lawless planet like Tatooine, which is cruelly ruled by one Jabba the Hutt. When Luke was 3, the Lars homestead was attacked by bandits during a water tax, and Obi-Wan, feeling the force sensitivity to this, kind of like a spider tangle for those of you familiar with Marvel, since the disturbance in the force, went to the Lars homestead and quickly and surely took care of the bandits, only to get punched in the face by Uncle Owen, who was upset once again that Obi-Wan is interfering in their life. So, how's that for gratitude? You save their lives, you catch a right hook directly across the face. Good times, right? Good times. A couple years later, once Luke turns 8, there's a water tax that breaks out, kind of something that we thought was a throwaway line in the Book of Boba Fett that happens to maybe pertain to what we got going on now. Luke looked about 8 in the trailer. Now you have this. Coincidence. I see you guys. I see you. See what you're doing there, Filoni and Favreau. You guys have a plan. I like it. But Kenobi protects the family from this tax. They're not taxed whatsoever during this period of time. And Obi-Wan begins to start chronicling journals dedicated to Luke, telling him the ways of the forest, how to be trained, how to go about attaining inner peace, stuff that could have potentially become part of the sacred texts that Luke had in the much hated by me perceptually, the sequels to the originals. So there could be some information of that happened to go, but we'll see how that works. During this, Luke attempted to bring water to a family that had suffered during the taxation by Jabba the Hutt and help them out. Obi-Wan followed Luke most of the way. Luke ends up getting jumped by a bunch of Jabba's gang. Obi-Wan helps start to break up some of the fracas and help everybody out, only for Luke to accidentally get knocked out by one of Jabba's henchmen, which, Obi-Wan eventually dispatches and then carries the young boy all the way to the Lars homestead and leaves him on the doorstep of the Lars homestead to disappear. And that time, he gets off scot-free. Nothing happened from Uncle Owen or Aunt Beru. He just kind of disappeared, dropped the body off where he needed to. Luke's okay, but, caught a mean right hook. Will be out for a little bit of time. After a failed maneuver through Beggar's Canyon with Luke's Skyhopper, kind of close to Skywalker there, see what's going on. He happened to damage the Skyhopper itself enough not to be used, but he brought it back to the Lars homestead and mourned for his beloved craft, which happened to give him that little bit of freedom, that little bit of rebellious streak that Anakin always had. So Obi-Wan decided to take a job with some Jawas, worked with them for a while, saved up enough money, paid the Jawas for the parts, and had them deliver it to Lars' homestead so that Luke could fix his Skyhopper. Uncle Owen, being the sleuth that he is, deduces 2 and 2, puts everything together, takes the parts directly to Obi-Wan, throws it down at his feet, says, "How dare you get involved in his life? We promised you'd stay away. How could you do this?" And after a shouting match, they kind of just agree to leave on bad terms. Obi-Wan being more and more sarcastic as he's getting older and older, making Yoda proud to the very least. But, Obi-Wan was no slouch and a master of sarcasm throughout his periods as a Jedi master. So everything proceeds as such. And Jabba, being Jabba, figured out that, hey, this house wasn't paying the water tax. He tries putting 2 and 2 together and comes to the incorrect conclusion that Uncle Owen is the one who has been disrupting his water tax on that place and has been protecting the people around the Lars homestead. So he sends a couple of henchmen to go enforce this water tax. He sends one of our favorite Wookiees from Book of Boba Fett, Black Chrysanthemum, to handle business. Black Chrysanthemum literally just, knocks out basically everyone at the Lars homestead, picks up Uncle Owen and carries him off after knocking Aunt Beru down. Obi-Wan then decides, all right, now I got to go handle business. He decides he goes save Uncle Owen, and he has a great fight with Black Chrysanthemum, eventually causing him that laceration right above his eye, like we saw in the Book of Boba Fett, and partially blinded him in that eye and knocked him off a cliff, which the book kind of left open for interpretation whether he died or not, but ultimately they did say, hey, he got off planet, he escaped, and he just was fleeing Jabba because, you fail the job with Jabba, they're going to send somebody else bigger and stronger to take care of you or just beat you with numbers. Obi-Wan has several more spots where he meets along with Luke during their time on Tatooine. However, as this book of Boba Fett focuses between 10 and 0 BBY, we're not going to have them covered. As much as I'm kind of upset about not covering that, because look, Obi-Wan fought a Shardhead who went on to become Darth Krayt, one of the greatest Sith Lords in the entire Star Wars lore, and I can't cover that. Obi-Wan also beheaded a Krayt dragon during his time on Tatooine. The Krayt dragon, the Mandalorian season 2, the giant sand dragon. Yeah, he beheaded one of those. Obi-Wan's no slouch. The Master of Hello there is once again doing incredible feats. But as that's not what we're focusing on, I can't talk about it. That being said, I'm very, very hyped for the series. This is the background that you kind of need to know. Obi-Wan, Master of Seresu, he's overlooking Luke. He has a rough relationship with Owen and Aunt Beru. He takes a lot of lumps and he goes through a lot of grieving and a lot of sadness because he failed Anakin and he's never really got over that for a long, long time until he finally made peace just before he ran into Darth Vader once again. And his hope was restored that one day there would truly be a balance to the Force. I'm very excited for this series. It comes out May 27th. Geek Variants, thank you for checking out what we got. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It's a beautiful little watermark in the corner. We much appreciate you guys checking out everything that we have. And I'll leave you with a couple more because this is the last episode I will be making pertaining to Star Wars for Obi-Wan. We will have more stuff coming out as well as deep dives from Doctor Strange and stuff pertaining to Miss Marvel. Check it out, what we got already. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you for being my apprentices during this wonderful journey. May the Force be with you always.